Good morning.
Hey,
Hello, hello. I love the energy in the morning.
you guest with me.
Yay. Just let everybody loading some more people in.
Do you want
I
me
have
to?
a guest with me too, Marissa.
I was gonna say we've got Aria on the call as well.
Hi,
That is yours, yes. Oh, look, it's Aunt Riss.
Aria. Hi. Hi, babies. Ah.
I love it. Awesome, awesome.
We're getting in the car, so I apologize. I'm just going to mute myself and turn the video off, but I'm here.
You're totally fine. I'm gonna throw everybody on mute because I know there's gonna be background noise and whatnot.
All
I
right,
want to make sure you
cool.
get all of the info here. So let me do that really quickly. Okay. Well, I'm going to still be adding people in as they hop onto the call here. But first and foremost, I wanted to say thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone who showed up on time and made time out of your Saturday morning to join me for the kickoff call for our next challenge. I am so incredibly excited about this next challenge. And I know that we have a lot of returning faces here. We have some new faces. And I think this challenge is going to throw in a little bit of a twist, even for some of us who have done multiple of these challenges before, right? A lot of the framework is the same because, as you guys know, results require the simple things done consistently. So what's required to get results doesn't change, but I've added a few tweaks and changes for this upcoming challenge to really start to tie in what I think has been missing in challenges in the past, and that is the community aspect. So we're going to talk about that as we get into the call. I'm going to do my absolute best to keep this under 30 minutes. I will stick around at the end for any questions, FAQs, anything like that, but I'm hoping to hit most of them in what I have prepared for today. So, first and foremost, what is this challenge all about? Right? Because I know the word challenge can be really, really scary to some of us. We think of challenge, we think of pass fail, we think of school, we get, a little bit of anxiety around that word. And I really want you to shift your thinking of the word challenge right now to this is a 10-week commitment. And every single person here has committed the next 10 weeks to becoming a better version of yourself. Well, yes, there is the core four tracker that we're going to talk about that is a little bit more of a you have to do it to win. But regardless of that, you are going to get so much out of this challenge if you think of this as a 10-week commitment to yourself. If you think of this as 10 weeks that you are committed to learning, 10 weeks that you are committed to showing up for yourself, 10 weeks that you're committed to not quitting on yourself, which I know we're all too used to doing, right? Trust me, I have entered many different challenge type things before. You get a week or two in, you have one off day, you quit on yourself, you say, I'll start again next week, next month, next year. That's not what this is about. This is about how much better can you get 10 weeks from now so that you're heading into the fall because we wrap up on September 21st. You're heading into the fall with a ton of momentum because I know I'm really forward thinking now. We're in the middle of summer and I'm already thinking about the fall, but what happens during the fall? Then the holidays start approaching. Like things get even more tough. So think of this as really the blueprint to set you up for so much momentum heading into one of the hardest times of the year. Um, Now, with that being said, just some logistics. Again, this challenge officially kicks off on Monday, July 14th, and will run for 10 total weeks through September 21st. Um, and you're going to get out of this challenge what you put into it, right? There are tons of resources available to you. And I know that not everyone is going to take advantage of every single resource provided, and that's okay. Right. But I want you to remember this right now that you have the resources available to you in what I'm about to show you. And you are welcome to use them as little or as much as you'd like. But the people that are going to get the best results physically from this challenge are going to be the ones that really do invest into this and take this seriously. My goal with this is to quite literally teach you the framework of how to live a healthy lifestyle. This is not about the quick fix. You guys know that I'm not the quick fix coach. If I could wave a magic wand and give you the results that you want, fabulous, right? But how are you going to keep those results? I care more that you know how to do this versus just that you do it. So over these next 10 weeks, it's going to be packed with education and little things to make you step outside your comfort zone to make you realize what you are truly capable of. Now, one thing with this challenge, that you guys are going to have as a resource is a guide that I've been working on, which you're going to get in your email after this. But I'm going to share my screen here if you are able to look at me, just to give you a little sneak peek at what we're looking at. Okay. So again, you are going to get a link to this. So you can save this to your phone, to your computer. This is jam-packed with tons and tons and tons of information. So just a little overview of what the challenge is. Some context here. This is going to explain a little bit more about like the challenge rules, which we're going to go over. Your core 4 tracker is inside of here, which we'll go over. But this is the piece that I wanted to highlight. Each and every week, there's going to be a different educational topic. In prior challenges, we've done educational calls. I've done recorded calls. And what I've realized is what a lot of you guys can't make the calls because we're busy. It's summer. People are traveling. There's schedules, sports, whatever it might be. Each and every week, there's a different educational topic inside of here that has written out text and resources for you to follow along with. So you'll see each week, let's skip ahead to week 2, for example. Okay. So like week 2 is all about building a balanced plate. Inside of each week, there's going to be recipe ideas, which big thank you and shout out to Melissa, who makes the best recipes in the entire world and allowed me to include a bunch of them in your guide here. But if you just need some motivation, some inspiration about like what you're supposed to eat that week, there's going to be a breakfast idea, a lunch idea, a dinner idea, and some snack ideas. So you'll see the recipes right in here. Most of the recipes have macros right on them as well to make your life really, really easy. Each week there is an optional SWJ sweat workout. So I say optional because this is by no means required for the challenge piece, but this goes back to a little bit about getting out of our comfort zone, where sometimes we just need those like little gut check workout challenges to, again, get us out of our own way. So each and every week, there's going to be a gut check designed workout for you to follow along with that we'll have some fun in the group chat with, but those will all be included in the guide here. And then transitioning into the educational topic of the week, you're going to find lots of resources inside of here. So this is all about how to put together a healthy plate. And there will be some clickable links inside of the guide too. So for example, like my batch meal prep guide, if you click on this, it'll open up how to batch meal prep and some ideas there. You're going to get tons and tons of information, reading a nutrition label, grocery shopping lists. If you want to use a weekly meal planner, again, these are not things you have to do for the challenge, but rather resources that are going to help you as you navigate through this journey. Another piece, which we will talk about in a little bit, is the mini challenges. So I'm going to stop sharing for now. But again, you're going to get emailed this guide and take a look through it. The way that it's designed is that I don't care if you look through the whole thing this weekend and you kind of like skim through it, read through it. Awesome. You're going to get lots of information. But I really do want you to use this on a week by week basis to say, all right, week 2 is starting. What should I learn about this week? I think you're going to digest a lot more of the information if you take it week by week versus trying to read it all at once and just learn it all and then forget about it until week 10. So take it week by week. But if you want to take a look through it all this weekend and just like really prep yourself and get ready, by all means, no one's stopping you. It's all here. It's all going to be in your email. Now, here's the piece of the challenge that I'm talking about that is a little bit more pass fail. This is the core 4 tracker that most of you guys are familiar with. Now, if you are new here, you might be like, what the heck is the core 4? The core 4 is quite literally the secret sauce to success. I know how overwhelming it can be to lose weight, get in shape, do all these different things. And we overcomplicate it, right? We overcomplicate it with all these different diets and workout programs and all these different things. And what I've figured out over the last 6.5 years of doing this is that all of my most successful clients do the same things. And it's nothing crazy. It's nothing groundbreaking. They do these 4 things with consistency. And so how I've structured these challenges is that if you can challenge yourself to focus on just these 4 things each and every day, you are going to be in a better spot 10 weeks from now than you are right now. And I know everyone has different goals. So when we go over these, please know that these are specific to you, but it's the same concept for everybody, and it's nothing crazy. So what is the core four? The core four has four components: calories, protein, water, and movement. You are going to see inside of that guide, there's a core four tracker. I'll also link this in the email by itself so you can just easily print it. But if you ever need to reprint it, you can always go back into that guide to reprint it. But your challenge over the next 10 weeks, if you are looking to earn some physical results from this challenge, is to challenge yourself to see how consistent can you be with these four factors. Now, what does this mean? Calories and protein has to do with tracking your food inside of the First Form app. And this is where I'm saying everyone's going to have a different calorie goal. Everyone's going to have a different protein goal. This is dependent on you personally. So if we have not had a conversation inside of the First Form app yet, please message me today so we can get this set up before Monday to make sure you know how many calories you should be eating or how much protein you should be eating. But just some specifics here with calories. In order to be able to check the box on your calories for the day, you want to stay within 10% of your calorie goal. Now, what do I mean by that? Don't go more than 10% over. If your goal is fat loss and you're under on your calories for the day, that's totally fine, but don't go more than 10% over. You can count that day as a win. Your protein goal. Every single person is going to have a protein number inside the app. So maybe your protein goal is 140 grams of protein each day. That is the minimum you need to reach to be able to check that off. Not 130, not 120, not saying it was close. No, hit 140, get the check mark. Don't hit 140, you don't get the check mark that day. Water, 100 ounces of water each day. That's a pretty standard one. Carry around your cup. It's one of the best things that you can do for yourself. Get a straw. We'll share more on that. And then with movement, this one gets a little bit tricky because I know some of us have more manual labor jobs than others. Some of us might be up on our feet more than others. Your goal with movement is I want you intentionally moving your body for at least 30 minutes a day. Now, that could be a walk, that could be a hike, that could be going to the gym, that could be a HIIT class, that could be yoga, that could be anything that is outside of I would have done this anyway. So like, for example, if you are a waitress and you're like, well, I was on my feet for 8 hours working today. No, that was part of your normal day-to-day activity. That's not intentional movement. 30 minutes of intentional movement each day. And if you aren't sure what kind of workouts you should be doing for your goals, again, message me inside the app. These are the very basics of how to complete the Core 4 challenge. Now, going back to the challenge piece of this challenge, there was an option to buy in to a prize pot at the end. The way that this works is that by the end of the 10 weeks, total of 70 days, you're going to see how many days you won. Your goal is to win at least 80% of the days over the next 10 weeks, which if you think about it, it's only 56 out of 70 days. Even if you have a vacation, you've got a trip coming up, whatever it might be, you can still win 80% of your days by focusing on all the days in between those things going on. And there's a little recap down here about like what all the specifics are if you do get confused here. But if you successfully win 56 out of 70 days, you're going to submit this tracker at the end of the 10 weeks. And if you did do the $40 buy-in, you are going to receive that back plus splitting the rest of the prize pot in the form of a gift card at the end of it. So basically everyone who entered in, it all went into a prize pot. Whoever finishes is going to split that prize pot. So in the past, typically you get more than you put in because not everybody finishes, but I won't know that number until I see the final numbers at the end. Now, if you are somebody who joined the challenge for free, which was totally optional, I still encourage you to do the Core 4 tracker. Why? Because this is how you're going to get results. This is how you're going to hold yourself accountable to staying consistent with the basics. Now, you won't be eligible for the prize at the end because you didn't do the buy-in in the beginning, but you're still going to get the results at the end of it, which in my opinion is the best prize of them all. So either which way, whether you did the buy-in or not, I want you to do the Core 4 tracker. And if you're listening to this being like, oh, I should have done the buy-in, this sounds awesome. you can still do it. Just go back onto the website right now, re-register with the $40 buy-in, and I'll include you in it. I meant to say too, if you guys have any questions during this, please just throw them in the chat. I'm going to try and answer some questions at the end if you guys have any. But I want to make sure I'm explaining this as clearly as possible here. The only other thing that I want to say about the Core 4 tracker, logging your food is, look, guys, this is based on the honor system. I have absolutely no way of knowing if you actually ate the right number of calories or if you had 6 extra snacks that day that you just didn't track inside the app. I don't. But it's just not fair to yourself. It's not fair to me. It's not fair to everybody else within the challenge here. If you are trying to cheat the system, you're just not going to get a lot out of the challenge. And I don't have that worry with anybody here, but I just wanted to put that forward because I quite literally have no way of knowing how honest you are. But what I will say is I go based on what's tracked inside the app. So if you turn in a Core 4 tracker at the end of 10 weeks and I look back at your app and you haven't tracked your food in the last 7 weeks, we're going to have a conversation because you do have to track your food in order to know where you're hitting your calories, where you're hitting your protein. So that's that. That's the core. That is the premise of the challenge. That is the mandatory part to get your buy-in back if you did the buy-in. Now, we also do little weekly mini challenges, and these are open to everyone, whether you did the $40 buy-in or not. You're going to see this in your guide. At the end of each week, there is a mini challenge. Now, these challenges, is Zoe coming? Oh, well, they'll get the recording after, unfortunately. Thank you. Sorry. Mini challenges, sorry, lost my place there. Each and every week, there's a mini challenge. Again, these are totally open to everybody, whether you did the buy-in or not. And this is going to be posted in the SWJ Facebook group. So you are going to want to make sure that you're part of the Facebook group here. Now, there's a little bit of a twist to this. These will be posted at 6 a.m. every single Monday. And then you'll have until the rest of the week, until Sunday night, to submit it. And they're simple. To enter the challenge, you're going to do whatever this first box says. Comment below. This one for week 2 just happens to be share a photo of a balanced meal with at least 25 grams of protein. Awesome. But there's a twist this go around. Like I said, we are all about community here, and I really want to focus on the engagement piece. In order to qualify, you also have to comment on somebody else's. It's the reply to others rule. I don't care what you write. I give you a template in terms of like what to do for this one, like ask somebody else for the recipe or like a tip on how they made their chicken look so good or whatever it might be. But you got to comment on somebody else's as well. Once you do those 2 things, you get entered into the giveaway for that week. And I'm going to give away, these are things that I'm investing into on my own, supplements, gift cards, apparel, things like that. There'll be a new prize each week. So again, these will be in the Facebook group. You have the template in your guide here, so you can kind of look ahead and see what the mini challenges are going to be. But the actual post that you're going to do is inside of the Facebook group. I apologize to anybody who didn't have the link who's texting Nick for it, but I don't want people jumping in halfway because they're going to have to catch up anyway. So they'll just watch the recording after. All right, now let's go into a little bit about what kind of support and communication do you have? Because I'm giving you tons of resources here, right? You got the education, you got the recipes, you got the mini challenges, you got the Core 4 tracker. What about support from me? Every single week, inside of the First Form app, you have the opportunity to do what's called an assessment. Now, most of you guys have been doing assessments before. If you haven't, make sure you refer to the Sunday announcements for how to complete them. But this is where you get personalized feedback based on what you are doing. And the purpose of these assessments is it's twofold, right? It's first meant to be a self-assessment. It's meant for you to take a step back and reflect and say, how did I do last week, right? How am I feeling? How is my energy? And taking a look back and saying, like, what could I do better for the following week? So the first part of it is just kind of like checking in with yourself. The second piece is getting that weekly feedback from me. So you're going to submit those every Monday. And are they absolutely mandatory to win the challenge? No, but they're highly valuable. And, you know, it's one of those things like, just don't make me chase you down for them. If I see that you don't do assessments for 4 weeks in a row, I'm like, what the heck? What's going on? Please don't make me chase you down for those. So do your assessment, whether it was a good week, a bad week, um, just like an okay week. You're going to get valuable feedback on any of those weeks. If you only do them on the good weeks, you're not going to get much out of it. So if you're struggling, this is where I can help. Now, I did mention this in the email, but Baby Z update. When Baby Z does arrive, whenever he plans to make his entrance, that is when there will be a 4-week pause on personalized assessment reviews. Now, I still want you to do the assessment for self accountability. But if you have something specific you need me to look at, send it in a message inside the app. I'm not going to go through and review every single assessment during those 4 weeks. You're going to use the group chat that we're going to talk about here in a second, and you're going to use all the other resources. But if you do have something like during those weeks you need me to look at, you think your macros are wrong, you're really struggling with something, send that in a message to me inside the app, and I'll be sure to take a look at it. Again, I don't know when that 4 weeks is going to start, but that will be communicated in the group chat when he decides to make his appearance. Now, this group chat. This is not a text group chat. We're going to use the app called GroupMe, which I know a lot of us have probably used before. If you're not familiar with GroupMe, it's a totally free app. And basically think about it as like, if you've been inside a group chat in an iPhone, it looks exactly like that, but I know we have some Androids, some iPhones. Group chats get really, really messy when we do it like that. GroupMe is a really cool platform where it's just, you don't use your phone number. Like it just says your name on it. It's totally free. We have a space there. This is where I'm going to be sending important like announcements for the challenge, updates for the challenge, reminders about mini challenges and things like that. It's really cool how it's laid out, and you'll see once you get into the group chat. This will be in the email that I send after. There's like a thread for my announcements so you don't miss it. But then there's going to be a group chat for all of us, right? And I really, really do want this to be a space where we hype each other up, a space where we ask questions, a space where we share struggles, and really just like a safe space where you're not scared to participate in, because this has the potential to be really, really cool and awesome and just like a really great piece that I think a lot of us are missing on our fitness journey. Like having friends who are also doing this is pretty cool. But I'm going to be honest, guys, this is not going to go well if I'm the only person posting inside of it. So please, please, please give as much as you take from that group chat. If you're getting a lot of value from this challenge, be willing to share value inside that group chat. Hype somebody up. If you just made like the best lunch ever, just share a photo of it in that group chat, right? If you really, really struggled to get your workout in that morning, but you got it in, send a selfie. Like use this group chat for each other too. Because again, you're going to get out of this whatever you put into it. But if you don't participate in the group chat, if you don't look at the group chat, if you kind of try and like do this on your own, you're going to miss a big piece of this challenge. I, for certain, would not be where I am on my fitness journey without all you guys, without having all my fitness friends who also care about all this stuff too. So that is the goal with this group chat. Again, totally free app to download. Please download that by the end of the weekend. Monday morning is when I'm going to send the first welcome message inside of there. And if you don't get it downloaded before then, you're not going to see the message because you don't see like prior messages once you get in. So please download it ASAP. If you have any questions, just let me know. Okay, I think that was most of it. Just as a wrap up, wow, I'm actually going to keep this to 30 minutes. Going back to how I started this call, right? I know the word challenge can be really, really scary. It can sound like pass fail. It can sound like school. It can sound like a lot of pressure, but I really want you to shift your thinking on this this is a 10-week commitment. This is 10 weeks of you committing to being better, you committing to the core four, you committing to just being a part of something and not giving up on yourself. That's the number one thing that I cannot stress enough. You're not allowed to give up on yourself. That's like quite literally the one rule here is you can't quit. If you have a bad day, get back on track the next day. There's a reason that the Core 4 challenge is not designed for how many days in a row can you be perfect. That's not realistic. What I've found is that my most successful clients are not perfect. Courtney, I just saw your message there. There'll be in the email that I send, there's a link to join the group chat. So that'll have the code inside of there. Um, but my most successful clients are not perfect, but they are consistent. They're consistent in showing up and they win most days. So even if you've got trips coming up, even if you've got, a busy end to the summer, you still can do this because the next 10 weeks, guys, they're going to pass either way. And you have the decision right now to decide where you want to be 10 weeks from now. Do you want to be in a better place than you're at right now? Do you want to be in the same place or do you want to be in a worse place? Because just like it was a decision to join this challenge, it's a decision for how you're going to approach the challenge. And unfortunately, it's a decision if you're going to quit the challenge halfway through, which I don't want to happen to anybody. But the reality is, some people do. I don't want that to happen to you. So, with that being said, please, please, please let me know if you have any questions at all. All of this is going to be coming to your email within the next few hours here. So, review the information, check out the guide, download GroupMe, get inside the chat. Again, nothing's really going to happen in the chat until Monday. I just want everybody to get in because people will miss messages as they join in. But just get it downloaded. Make sure you're part of the Facebook group. You have it all set up. Print out your Core 4 tracker and really spend some time this weekend just getting yourself set up for success, right? If you need some meal prep ideas, go check out the guide, check out my batch meal prep guide, check out some of Melissa's recipes inside of there. Spend some time today, tomorrow, get to the grocery store, get a little bit of meal prep done. If you're going to be working out from home, set up your workout space. It's beautiful out right now. Go get a walk in. Start building these habits now. Spend time this weekend getting yourself set up for success here. So, okay. I think that is everything. So, I do have a giveaway to do for all you guys who are on the call. So don't let me leave before that. Does anybody have any other specific questions or anything for me to cover today? You can just unmute yourself or throw it in the chat if you can't unmute.
Hey, Jess.
Hey.
Hi, I'm new to GroupMe. So once you get in there, is it like WhatsApp that you'll find us and then connect us and then we go from there? So we just need to get in there.
Yeah, it's super, super simple. So it's a free app. And then in the email that I send you, there's a direct link that'll take you to our thread. So
Gotcha.
it'll add you right in.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yeah. It's super user friendly and I like it a lot. So should be good. Cool. Any other questions? Okay. Well, for all of you being awesome, if you can get to the chat right now, we're going to do a little giveaway for being on the call here. We're going to keep things real simple. I've got a bag of clear protein. I'm giving it away to somebody. All you have to do, we're going with the Price is Right rules here. Closest without going over. Guess a number between 1 and 100 that I'm thinking of. I already wrote it down before the call, so I can't change my mind. Remember, Price is Right rules, closest without going over. Give it another 30 seconds or so. Doing the strawberry limeade flavor, which if you guys didn't see my Instagram post from yesterday, put this literally with just water and ice and make yourself a slushie. So refreshing for the summer. All right, 10 more seconds. Cast your votes. Okay. Well, we had somebody be one number off from what my number was. So my number was, see it on here, 14. So congrats, Amy. You guessed number 13. You were one number off. So clear protein coming your way. If you guys didn't know why I guessed 14, that's baby C's due date, August 14th. So
Yay,
maybe
thank
Amy knew
you.
that. You're welcome.
I was trying to remember.
I figured somebody would know. I was like, someone's going to guess this based on
I
that just
know.
said so much about
I
baby Z.
I couldn't remember.
That's okay. There'll be plenty of more giveaways to come. And I'm going to do speaking on baby Z, I'm going to do a little post in the Facebook group probably this weekend of like, guess when he's coming and some kind of giveaway with it when you guess like how much he's going to weigh, the date, all that fun stuff. So be on the lookout for that. I don't know the answer to that one yet, obviously, but when he comes, I will. Cool. All right. If you guys have any other questions, reply back to the email that I send with the recap of everything. But otherwise, I'm super excited for this. Again, I know this could be a really tough time of the year. And, this is one of those things that I'm really excited to bring the community aspect to this and could really use, a lot of help, especially this time of the year, just keeping the engagement up, keeping everything up. So participate in the group chat, in the group me chat, participate in the mini challenges. Let's keep the momentum going. We're all in this together. Okay. So appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your Saturday and I'm excited for Monday. See you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.